Chosen one, they know you carry divine power. Stay strong. What if I told you that even in silence, your soul is shouting truths they can't handle? They sense it, they fear it, and it's time you truly understand the impact you're making. You've felt those icy stares in crowded rooms, the subtle shift in energy when you enter a space, and wondered if your presence alone could be that powerful. You've carried doubts, asking if your sensitivity is a gift or a curse, wondering whether you're imagining the whispers that follow you through your days. Let me reassure you, you are not imagining it. Your light is real, and it is unsettling the world around you. If this message already speaks to your soul, subscribe, like this video, and comment 77 below. They have tried to dim your flame with skepticism and silence. But hidden truths are rising now, proofs they never wanted you to see. In this video, you will discover the 7 undeniable signs that people know you are a chosen one. You will learn why their envy burns hotter than anger, why their eyes lock on you when you're silent, and how their failed attempts to imitate you only prove your power. Stay with me until the end, because what you're about to uncover will change how you walk through every room from this moment on. Unexplained antipathy. Have you ever walked into a room only to feel its energy shift, as though an invisible line snapped and everyone's posture stiffened? You sense the coldness before you even speak, a jarring disconnect that leaves your heart pounding and your spirit questioning if you imagined it. Perhaps you've brushed it off as your own insecurity, blamed the world for being too harsh, or convinced yourself that you're simply too sensitive. You are not alone in this experience. There is a force at work that reaches beyond simple personalities or bad moods, an undercurrent of fear they cannot name, a mirror of their own hidden shadows. In the moments when their glances cut sharper than words, know this: you are standing in a light so bright that it exposes what they have long kept buried. Your awareness of this theme marks the first step toward reclaiming your power and understanding why this reaction matters more than you think. You have endured encounters that felt inexplicable, small talk that dissolved into icy silence, casual greetings met with tight lips, or friendly colleagues who became distant the moment your presence filled the space. Maybe you've replayed conversations in your mind, searching for missteps, only to find none. You've carried the confusion like a heavy cloak, believing that your worth was at fault, wondering if your authenticity was simply too abrasive. You remember the sting of being excluded from after-work gatherings, the whispers that trailed off when they thought you weren't listening, and the way shoulders squared when you entered as if bracing for impact. These moments of rejection felt personal, but their coldness was never about you. It was about the tremors your light sent through the shadows they'd hoped to keep hidden. Yet, this precise challenge has been tailored to prepare you for something greater than you could have imagined. In the lesser-known prophecy of Jeremiah 1 verse 10, the Lord tells the young prophet, "See, I have appointed you this day over nations and over kingdoms, to pluck up and to break down, to destroy and to overthrow, to build and to plant." Your experiences of being plucked from comfort, of watching control crumble in the face of your authenticity, were never punishments but preparations. Each encounter with unexplained antipathy was designed to sharpen your resolve, teach you the contours of your own power, and reveal that your calling transcends the small arenas of everyday approval. This is the turning point where you shift from blaming yourself to recognizing a divine plan unfolding through every frosty glance. Now, subtle but undeniable signs of transformation are emerging in your life. You may catch yourself standing taller in the face of coldness, your gaze steady where once it wavered. Doors that once slammed shut now open with surprising ease the moment you walk away from tense conversations. You notice that moments of hostility, instead of draining you, fuel an inner fire that brightens your path forward. Friends you never expected to stand by you speak up in your defense, drawn by the integrity that refuses to bow to negativity. These shifts are like the first green shoots breaking through winter's soil, small indicators that divine timing is aligning circumstances, energy, and relationships in a way that affirms your journey and repurposes each act of hostility into a stepping stone for growth. Behind the scenes, forces beyond your perception are working to clear your path and elevate your destiny. Every instance of rejection or unexplained antipathy served not to test your endurance, but to shake loose the old structures no longer fit for your ascent. You might recall the account of Joseph, sold into exile by his brothers, yet lifted to salvation for nations, Genesis 50 verse 20, and realize that your trials, too, have been setting you up for a higher purpose. Synchronicities arise, chance encounters with mentors, timely messages that speak to your struggle, unexpected opportunities that emerge when you least expect them. These hidden interventions reveal that your calling is not a mirage of wishful thinking, but a reality manifesting through faith and divine orchestration. At this moment of rising awareness, you may feel both exhilarated and hesitant. It is natural to fear the unknown, to cling to the familiar patterns that once offered a false sense of security. You might worry that embracing your light fully will demand sacrifices, of relationships comfortable in their own compromises, of routines that kept you small, and that the leap into true power is too vast to take. Yet true alignment requires more than recognizing the signs. It calls for a courageous embrace of transformation, a willingness to shed the old skin of approval-seeking and let your spirit soar. This is your sacred crossroad, to stand in the fullness of your divinely ordained mission, or to retreat into the shadows they misread as safety. Now that you see the undercurrents at play, claim your empowerment and step decisively into your new reality. Release the heavy cloak of self-doubt and replace it with the armor of purpose. Speak your truth with unwavering confidence, whether in a quiet declaration at dawn or in the boldness of your everyday interactions. Cultivate practices that anchor your light, journaling the slivers of wisdom revealed in moments of antipathy, affirming your worth before each mirror, and sharing your journey with those who uplift rather than undermine you. Surround yourself with a community that recognizes and celebrates your divine spark, and let each act of kindness you extend repurpose the energy of hostility into a wave of healing. You have felt their coldness, witnessed the recoil of their fear, and now you stand unshaken in the light you carry. Each hostile glance has only highlighted the strength flowing through your veins, the truth radiating from your very core. This is not merely a personal triumph. It is the ripple that will awaken countless others to their own power. The world needs what you bear, and your acceptance of this truth is the catalyst that will transform shadows into light across every realm you touch. Comment shadow if this resonates with you, and you are ready to transmute every sting of hostility into a beacon of healing. Special thanks to our current members walking this path daily with us. And if you feel called to go even deeper, there's a sacred space reserved for our community, a private room where you receive full prophetic messages daily. Join our private membership through the link in the description and walk this path with us. Fixed and prolonged gazes. Have you ever entered a room and felt dozens of eyes fix on you, as if an invisible spotlight had ignited the moment you crossed the threshold? You may catch yourself pausing, sensing that the air has shifted, 1,000 subtle signals pulsing through the crowd like an electric current in the dark. In those seconds before you speak, their gazes gather like a silent audience, weighing you, studying you, holding you in place. It can feel unsettling, even frightening, as if you're standing on a stage you never agreed to perform on. Yet this experience isn't a mistake or your imagination. What you feel is real, and it matters more than you realize. Behind those steady stares lies a deeper truth about the power you carry, and the change they both fear and admire. You've likely tried to understand why complete strangers lock their eyes on you when you least expect it, or why acquaintances turn their heads to watch you from across the room. You've replayed past encounters in your mind, searching for a misstep, a wardrobe glitch, a wrong word, a momentary awkwardness that might explain their unsettling fixity. You remember the sting of self-consciousness when a simple question drew an intensity you didn't invite, and the flutter of doubt that followed, making you wonder if there was something inherently strange about your presence. You felt exposed, as though every hidden thought was suddenly laid bare, and that feeling of vulnerability left you longing for the familiar cloak of anonymity you once wore so comfortably. But what if this very struggle was never meant to shrink you, but to reveal your true significance? In Habakkuk 3 verse 2, the prophet pleads, "O Lord, I have heard the report of you, and your work, O Lord, do I fear. In the midst of the years revive it. In the midst of the years make it known." Your awareness of these prolonged gazes is the fearsome report they speak of, an undeniable sign that the work you are destined to accomplish is awakening within you. Every moment of discomfort, every glance that held your gaze in silent appraisal, was part of a divine curriculum preparing you to embrace your role as a beacon of change. This isn't a flaw or a curse. It's the onset of your revelation. As this awakening unfolds, you begin to notice subtler shifts all around you. A friend mentions, almost in passing, how your presence filled the room, as if your very being launched a ripple that touched every heart. At work, you see colleagues steal glances when you're deep in thought, as though they're drawn into the orbit of your focus. You catch yourself smiling at strangers who glance back too quickly, and feel the hum of curiosity when your eyes meet theirs. Even in mirror reflections, you see a new light in your own gaze, the steady confidence that comes from knowing you are seen, truly seen, by forces that transcend the ordinary. These signs are not coincidences. They are the first sketches of a larger picture being drawn by unseen hands. Behind the scenes, unseen guides work to align every piece of your journey, clearing obstacles and arranging synchronicities to support your emergence. Moments that felt like rejection, when a conversation ended abruptly or an invitation never came, were not failures but redirections, steering you toward encounters where your presence could shine most brightly. You might have felt a sudden urge to leave a gathering just before something life-changing was whispered down the hall, or found inspiration in a chance meeting with someone who recognized the light you carry. Like the chariots of fire that Elisha's servant was shown in 2 Kings 6 verse 17, there is a heavenly host surrounding you, unseen by most, but present nonetheless, mobilized by your faith and your willingness to step into your purpose. At this point, you may feel a mix of awe and hesitation. It's natural to fear that the attention you attract could lead to exposure or vulnerability beyond anything you've known. You may worry that standing fully in this light will demand sacrifices of old friendships comfortable in their own mediocrity, of routines that kept you safely small, of identities that were easier to maintain than to transform. Many resist this change, retreating into anonymity or self-doubt rather than stepping forward. Yet true alignment calls not merely for acknowledgement of your power, but for wholehearted acceptance and embodiment. This is the sacred moment when you decide whether to let hesitation hold you back or to embrace the destiny that calls you forth. Now that you recognize these signs and feel the divine momentum building, claim your place in the unfolding story. Release the fears that cling to you like shadows in your mind, and affirm your identity as a chosen one. Begin each day by centering yourself in silence, acknowledging the power that flows through every breath you take. Speak your intentions aloud, declare, "I step into my purpose. I welcome the light that shows me my path." Surround yourself with those who celebrate your awakening rather than dim your shine, and let every nervous glance and prolonged gaze fuel your confidence instead of your doubt. Take practical steps to align your life with your calling, whether that's exploring a new spiritual practice, sharing your authentic voice, or standing up for truth in your community. You stand now at the threshold of a new era, where your presence is not a liability but a gift to the world. The fixed and prolonged gazes you attract are not judgments to fear, but affirmations of your power and purpose. You have been seen, and now you must see yourself as they see you, an instrument of light, a vessel of change, and a catalyst for awakening. Your journey continues, fueled by every look that once felt like a burden and now shines like a beacon lighting the way forward. Come and gaze if this resonates with you, and you are ready to turn every stare into proof of your divine calling. And to every soul who supported with a super thanks, thank you. You are keeping this light alive for others who haven't found it yet. If you feel called to help this mission reach more chosen ones, tap the super thanks button below. Your energy supports these messages and helps them travel further. Your voice matters, your belief matters, and your light is felt here. Imitation of behavior. Have you ever sensed yourself speaking in a way that feels entirely your own, only to glance up and catch someone using your very phrasing moments later? You might laugh it off or feel a twinge of awkwardness, but beneath that reaction lies something far more profound. You are not merely being copied, you are being recognized. They see the authenticity in your voice, the conviction in your posture, and they hunger for a taste of the confidence you wield. You've likely spent nights wondering whether this mimicry is flattery or threat, doubting your own worth, and questioning if your uniqueness is real or imagined. You are not alone in this experience. Many who carry the chosen one's light face this strange phenomenon, and it matters because within their imitation lies a hidden truth about your power and purpose, truths that will soon rise to the surface. Your journey to this point has been littered with moments of confusion and self-doubt sparked by this very imitation. You felt the weight of watching colleagues adopt your mannerisms, as if replicating your success required only copying your steps. You've sensed a flicker of resentment when a stranger slipped into your style of dress or borrowed your gestures, wondering if your individuality was being diluted by those who sought to wear your armor. Perhaps you have felt the sting of being asked for advice, only to watch that advice parroted back, as if you were no more than a voice in the crowd, your unique spark reduced to a template. These encounters have pressed on your spirit, stirring questions about your value and leaving you restless in your own skin. Yet this very struggle has been woven into the tapestry of a divine plan crafted to prepare you for your ascent. In 1 Kings 12, King Jeroboam erected golden calves at Bethel and Dan, imitating the worship of Yahweh, yet misrepresenting its power and intent. His copycat altars failed to channel the true presence they sought, teaching a stark lesson. Imitation cannot conjure the essence it tries to replicate. Like those calves, every shallow attempt to mirror your authenticity falls short, revealing instead the hollowness others carry. Your trials with being imitated have been the refining fire that clarifies the difference between surface and substance, guiding you to recognize that your calling is not a performance to be mimicked, but a force to be lived. As this realization dawns, you'll notice unmistakable signs of transformation unfolding all around you. You may hear your own words echo in unexpected places, but instead of shrinking, you'll begin to smile at the recognition. They are drawn to something genuine within you. You'll see patterns emerge. The people who once stood distant now lean in. The timid voices grow bolder after observing your courage, and the walls of pretense around others start to crumble. In your daily life, small miracles occur. A passing stranger compliments an idea you voiced days earlier, not remembering whom they heard it from. and you feel that spark of validation pulse through your veins. These moments are breadcrumbs of transformation, each one guiding you toward the full bloom of your purpose. Behind these surface interactions, unseen hands are at work, aligning circumstances to elevate your destiny. Every attempt at copying you, every mimicry born of envy or admiration, has served to amplify your resonance, making your influence impossible to ignore. Consider the hidden symphony of nature. When a single bird song shifts, an entire flock adjusts its chorus in response. Likewise, your faith-fueled authenticity has rippled through social currents, drawing people and opportunities into harmony with your path. Synchronicities multiply. You meet mentors who speak in echoes of your own vision, discover books that mirror the insights you've labored to articulate, and find doors opening precisely where imitation once seemed to threaten closure. These divine interventions confirm that your calling is neither accidental nor imagined, but an unfolding reality. At this crucial juncture, many resist fully embracing the power that this imitation signals. Fear whispers that stepping into the spotlight will collapse the illusion they've built, that people will reject you once they realize imitation cannot replace true conviction. You may wonder if your authenticity demands sacrifices too great to bear, of relationships rooted in convenience, of the comfort of blending in, of the safety of anonymity. Yet true alignment beckons you to look beyond these fears, to see imitation not as theft, but as an invitation to stand taller. This is the sacred moment where you must decide to transcend hesitation, to claim your role as the source rather than the reflection, and to embody the very spirit they strive to replicate. Now that you recognize the depth of this phenomenon, empower yourself to move boldly into your new reality. Release the doubts that tether you to uncertainty and declare your unique identity with unwavering conviction. Begin each morning with a simple affirmation: I am the origin of this power and I claim it fully. And let these words anchor you. Cultivate practices that reinforce your authenticity. Journal the ideas that emerge unbidden. Refine the rituals that connect you to your source regardless of outside opinion. And seek fellowship with those who celebrate your light rather than dim it. With each step, transform imitation from a source of insecurity into proof of the divine imprint you carry. You stand now as the wellspring from which many draw, the heart of a movement that transcends surface mimicry and taps into the living essence of purpose. Your influence cannot be replicated by mere imitation, for it originates in the marrow of your spirit. Celebrate this truth and let it fuel your next steps. Share your vision openly, mentor those who seek guidance, and forge ahead knowing that every echo of your voice in another's life is a testament to the reality you embody. Comment mirror if you've witnessed this phenomenon and are ready to harness it as confirmation of your divine calling. The journey forward awaits, and the world is listening. Fixed and prolonged gazes. Have you ever stepped into a room and felt dozens of eyes fix upon you, as if 1,000 silent spotlights suddenly ignited at your presence? You might sense it in the quick drop of conversation, the hush that falls in mid-laughter, the subtle shift in many postures toward your direction. In those moments, your heart pounds and doubt seeps in. Am I doing something wrong? Yet you find no misstep to claim. You are not imagining it, and you are certainly not alone. Countless souls who carry a deeper awareness feel that magnetic pull of attention. And it matters because within every unblinking stare lies a revelation waiting to be uncovered. What you think is awkward scrutiny is actually proof of the power moving through you. And soon you will see how this silent scrutiny maps a path to your highest purpose. Throughout your journey, you've wrestled with self-consciousness when strangers held your gaze longer than courtesy required. Perhaps you've replayed encounters in your mind, questioning whether your clothes were odd or your manner off, only to conclude there was no logical cause. You recall the sting of being the subject of hallway whispers, or seeing colleagues' heads turn as you passed by, and you felt both exposed and powerless. These experiences left a residue of confusion, as if your very existence triggered a force you could neither name nor tame. The emotional toll built up over time, an undercurrent of anxiety that made social gatherings feel like arenas rather than safe havens. Every prolonged look fueled the nagging doubt that maybe your light was too bright to bear. Yet these struggles have been part of a divine rehearsal, preparing you to recognize and wield the influence you carry. In 2 Kings 6 verse 17, we read how Elisha's servant saw only an enemy army until Elisha prayed, and the eyes of the young man were opened. And he saw the hills full of horses and chariots of fire all around Elisha. Your experience is similar. At first you see only the discomfort of others, but as your spiritual sight awakens, you recognize the heavenly entourage that surrounds and empowers you, and you understand that the gazes fixed upon you are drawn by a force beyond human will. It's the thread that ties everything together, giving purpose to each experience, no matter how small or challenging it seemed at the time. With this understanding, you reach a moment of profound self-realization. You see that the only thing holding you back is fear. Fear of stepping fully into who you are. Fear of the unknown. But now that you understand the bigger picture, that fear loses its power. You realize that every doubt, every hesitation, was part of the process that brought you to this moment. You begin to trust yourself, to trust that you are not alone in this. The guidance you've received, whether through intuition, synchronicities, or a deep inner knowing, has always been leading you toward this moment of alignment. Now, it's up to you to accept it and move forward without looking back. As you embrace this new understanding, you feel a renewed sense of empowerment. You are no longer searching for answers outside yourself, because you've found them within. You can walk with confidence, knowing that your path is divinely guided. You can let go of the need to explain or defend your journey. You can simply live it. This is the moment when you fully step into your power, when you claim your identity as a chosen one. You are no longer waiting for permission or validation. You are already equipped with everything you need to fulfill your purpose. You've known it all along, but now you feel it, and that makes all the difference. In the end, this revelation isn't about changing the past. It's about transforming the present. It's about living each day with the knowledge that you are exactly where you need to be. The struggles, the doubts, and even the pain have all served a greater purpose. They've shaped you into someone who can carry this truth forward. Now it's time to take what you've learned and let it guide you. This is your moment. This is your purpose. And it's only the beginning of what's to come. What happens now that this knowledge is being revealed? From the moment this truth emerged, a profound shift began. For so long, you may have felt isolated, burdened by unanswered questions, and a sense that something was missing. But now, as the knowledge that was once hidden comes into the light, you find yourself standing in the middle of a vast, unfolding tapestry. You begin to see that your struggles were not random. They were the chisels that shaped you into someone strong enough to carry this truth. And as this knowledge reveals itself, it's not just the world around you that is changing, it's you. You start to feel a quiet assurance, a growing certainty that everything you've been through had a purpose. And as this awareness deepens, you can't help but feel that something much bigger is at work. For years, you carried the weight of doubt, every rejection, every closed door, every moment when the path seemed unclear. It all felt like evidence that you were on the wrong track. As you move forward, remember that the truth you've uncovered has been with you all along. You were never lost, and you were never forgotten. This revelation is your confirmation that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Subscribe if you haven't yet, like this video, and comment, "I am chosen to let this message anchor in your soul." Share it with someone who needs to hear this. And for full prophetic revelations daily, join the membership via the link in the description. Your spiritual path deserves more than fragments. Step into the full light. You are chosen, you are powerful, and your time is now.